Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 horror film The 27 Club, a film that stars Madison Carter, Derek Denicola and Todd Rundgren, who was nominated to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something. Not really sure who he is, but I'm sure some of you do know who he is. Right, this is a film that has got a really fascinating idea, and it focuses on the 27 Club. Is basically a group of musicians, and included in that is people like Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, and a few other famous musicians who died at the age of 27. Now, I'm presuming this fact is true. I haven't researched it, but they wouldn't have put it in the film if it wasn't true, I'm fairly sure. So they all died at the age of 27, and we have a young character who is a student who is researching this phenomenon. The 27 Club is doing like a documentary for his thesis on this subject itself, and there's a very famous musician created for the film. At the beginning of the film you see him, very famous musician, and he joins the 27 Club, and this documentary filmmaker literally went to see him perform the night before he dies. So this really adds fuel to his fire in regards to his documentary he wants to make. Everybody's behind it. It's Professor, and he wants to start interviewing locals and all, as many relevant people as he can. And we have Lily, played by Madison Carter, who is a struggling singer who is actually pretty rubbish. She's not particularly talented. She spends most of her time drinking and taking drugs. But she said she would give up everything to be able to, leave a lasting impression like Amy Winehouse did and die at 27, because her music will live forever. The trouble is, she's 26, so she hasn't got long to do it. So this film focuses on this young filmmaker and Lily, and travels through this film, and as they uncover the mystery of the 27 Club, and is there more demonic and supernatural forces involved, and deals with the devil, and this is what they investigate. Right, that's really all I want to say on this plot here for the film. Like as I say, this film I think had a fascinating idea. This is something I've never put together. I mean, there might be fans of music out there that this might be a real thing, this 27 Club. I don't know if it's a real thing. So if it's just been made up and thought up for the movie, it's a very, very clever idea. The fact that there's these talented, or maybe not so talented, musicians making deals with demons and stuff to make them mega famous and artists, and they die at the age of 27. That's the deal. That works really, really well. However, this film, the concept on its own isn't enough. It runs with it to a certain degree, and there are aspects of this film that really, really work. I thought the acting was pretty good here. The performances and the production values here are pretty good, even though it's fairly low budget stuff. The effects are good for the I suppose you can call them demons in the film. Those are pretty good, and it's pretty gory at times when there's some deaths taking place in the film. However, there's plot holes littered everywhere with it, and it insults your intelligence. For example, this musician Lily, who's not very talented at the beginning of the film, when she figures out how she can join this 27 Club, there's a scene where she films herself singing with a guitar, and all of a sudden she's the best singer in the world. And this documentary filmmaker finds this clipping of her singing, because she filmed it on his camera, decides to upload it, and literally seconds later she's famous, and record producers want a piece of her. Sorry, but it just doesn't work like that. You just check YouTube and see how many talented singers are on there putting videos up of them singing, and I don't see many of them making it to the #1 in the charts. So the idea of how you get famous here is, I'm sorry, ridiculous. Even if there are supernatural forces in the background stirring the pot. I didn't buy it, didn't work. There's this book in the film as well, almost like the Book of the Dead, almost like from Evil Dead. It kind of gives you instructions of how to contact the other side to make these deals and stuff, but there's a piece missing. But from right at the beginning of the film, this documentary filmmaker has this book. Where did he get this book? I don't recall that being revealed in the film. He had this book, and Lily knew how to make this book work, and it threw these things out there but didn't explain them well enough, so you just ended up scratching your head. So how did they know what this book did, and how did they know where the missing piece was? And it was just bonkers. And then there's these other plot lines firing off to the side of where they go to see these other people that know how to contact the other side, and they kidnap women and lock them up. And there was too much going on, and I think they just needed to pull it back a bit, this film, and just focus on the central story, because it was strong enough, and just focus on getting that bit right, and rather than firing off in all these other directions, all these other storylines that just didn't work for me. But it was pretty good, actually, this film. It was certainly watchable, and I really liked the concept here. I really liked the concept. I thought the idea was very, very interesting and fascinating, and I've not seen anything like this before in regards to the concept. So I really liked it. I just thought the execution was a bit off, and the plot holes were there were too many of them for me to forgive, I think. And the idea of how you get famous was just bizarre. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I think it's wasted potential here. I thought the look and feel of the film and the idea was spot on. I think the execution was a little bit off, but it is certainly something a little bit different for you horror fans out there. So it is worth checking out if you want to see something a little bit different. So that's my review for the 27 Club. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.